KUN. How do you even minimize? Oh, Macs are the worst. Here we go. Right. Okay, Campbell. Is it safe? Can we come out? Free of raiding parties. Mutants. The apocalypse. We can't come out. We are in lockdown, and so are you, probably. But nothing stops the drams, nothing stops the whiskey, and nothing stops the single malt review. So welcome on this auspicious day of the apocalypse. You've probably been in there a lot longer than we have. We're on about day 4, I think. But anyway, first thing I should do with this monumental screen here is pipe in Dave, if I can make this jolly Macintosh computer do what I want. Ooh, so close. Here we are. Can make him even bigger. Oh, yes we can! Yes we can, look at that. Dave is in the house.
My house, in fact.
Yeah.
So yours.
It's a funny thing. They'll what's tantamount to now an international lockdown. It's not often that you can sort of be fairly sure that you're sharing the same experience of the people you're sort of piping out to, but as the case is, at this 9th of March, if I'm vaguely keeping up with what day it is, then yes, we're probably all sort of sitting around in the same situation. No going outside, no engaging with the public, no nothing. So, I guess get used to this in the future. Cyber Dave in the house for the time being. So, it wasn't all doom and gloom around here, just in the very nick of time, and what must have been a true act of universal kindness, just about a week before this all kicked off, Dramfest took place down in New Zealand over here, and we were able to attend. And boy did we only just get away with that one. They were able to get most. Charles McLean and company got home. Dave Broom did not, so he gets to be a Kiwi whether he likes it or not. For hopefully what isn't the duration. Hopefully they can get him home sooner or later. But anyway, sorry Dave. I hope you're finding something to do down in the southern hemisphere. But yeah, Dramfest. What a show that was. Only every 2 years we get treated to that one, and it's always just a real blast. I think you took a lot more notes than I did. So what was your drams of the show? The things that really struck out.
It was just a relentless cavalcade of excellence. Really, there was stunning whiskey from the Americas, from Japan, India, and obviously Scotland, and all the usual suspects. Trying to pick a single clear winner is just hard. I need time to go through all my thorough notes and just short list and long list, just work it out. But really, probably one of the highlights for me would have been the Cadenheads tasting. Cameron McGeechy had a bit of a session with 3 incredible select drams from Cadenheads. 2 of them are kind of work in progress casks. They've not been bottled yet. The third was one which was bottled for Cadenhead's anniversary a few years ago. So what we had there was a 29-year-old Little Mill. So this is a 1990 Little Mill. And
closed distillery there, so not too much of that left in the world.
No. That was incredible. Like, first time I'd even heard of Little Mill, and first time I tried it, possibly the only time. There was a refill bourbon cask. The thing is, these were incredibly old drams. They're all very pale because they're all second or third fill casks. So they've just matured very slowly, a really slow, smouldering burn. That was amazing. Second up was a Convalmore. This is a 1977 cask, so a 40-year-old. This is one that was bottled for Cadenhead's anniversary a couple of years back. There's none of it left. It's all been sold. We're very lucky to have a chance to try this one. So that's a Stateside distillery, closed in the mid-80s. So it was very strong, though. 40 years old, 56.8% ABV.
Well, that was a well-made cask, yeah.
The regulations were lighter back in the day, and they could fill it up to 70%. They're not uncommon, hence why it's so strong. And finally, was something that you would almost never find. This was an independently bottled, obviously it's Cadenheads, but it's an Ardbeg. This is a 1993 Ardbeg, so about 26 years old. They bought a bourbon hogshead. Cadenhead bought a bourbon hogshead of whiskey of Ardbeg in the mid-90s, and they've been keeping it ever since. So it was delicately peated. It's a lightly peated Ardbeg, and it was the oldest we've ever come across, and it hasn't even been bottled yet. They haven't decided what they're going to do with this one just yet. But it was phenomenal. It was such a real time capsule.
They're probably, what was that, 26-year-old Ardbeg?
Yeah, that's right, a 1993 distillation.
They're probably waiting to book time on a NASA supercomputer to calculate the price. I couldn't even imagine. That would be there's easily the rarest of the. It would be a toss-up between them and Lefroy, but I'm pretty sure Ardbeg takes the cake here for the scarcest independently bottled and scarcest old whiskey as well. Well, that was before they brought out a 19-year-old in their own collection, but still, very, very scarce.
My notes say it was sharp but mellow. That includes a peat as well. There's plenty of it, but it had been tempered, and it was just a nicely salty, oaky character to it. It was a gentle but endlessly complex and layered dram. So that was just such a good chance to try that, really.
Yeah. No, as for tastings on my end, I was able to catch up with Mr. Gillespie of Whiskycast to try some American whiskey. And just give Mr. Gillespie a light roasting about the evil practice of watering down bourbons to levels where they could not even be sold in the US. Not Mark's problem, obviously. He doesn't make the rules over there, but he was able to speak to that. As usual, it comes around to tax, as it always seems to, but we're able to try some absolutely astounding things there. Some typical and less typical stuff, some good old Buffalo Trace as a sort of a typical example, but right on the wacky end of the scale, we had I should have had my phone out here because I recorded the actual... it'll probably flash up on the screen, won't it? I'm pretty good at that. But it was a American malt whiskey, and it was a peated malt whiskey. And if I hadn't known going in, I would have said that was some sort of crazy cask-strength peated Bruichladdich or something. It really was, but they used an Isla peat, so I guess there is a continuity there. But man, that was a very real experience there, and I would have been completely fooled otherwise, confused but fooled. If I'd tried that one blind. So yeah, that was quite the reckoning. Just too many drams in too little time to really pick a winner. I think the Kill Devil rum range they had there was fairly outstanding. A full sort of 6 releases of those and 3 single casks. Really, really stellar stuff coming out of there. I had one sort of whiskey bone to pick. One sort of dark point of the show, the thumbs down. The Boutique-y Whisky Company, That Boutique-y Whisky Company, I think, LTD, they were there, which is, it was good to see. They had some lovely whiskies there, but I'm not sure if this was always the case and I never noticed, or whether this is a new sort of a new thing that they've devised. I noticed all of the whiskies were very, very curious strengths. You get a 47.1, you get a 45.9 or something, and there is no way that these were cask strengths, and they'll tell you, no, that's not cask strength. They have decided, whether they were, as I say, doing this all along, or whether this is a new discovery, that they were going to taste them and water them down to their optimum drinking strength, which I think is a bit cheeky. I mean, by all means, publish the optimal drinking strength on the back of the bottle, but this, I think, implies fairly belligerently that they know more about enjoying the whiskey than the actual purchasers of the bottles, and so they're going to water it down just for you, and I'll bet save a bunch of money in the process because they're selling less in the already diminished bottles. And there was very little comment from the crew about that one. So, I don't know, thoughts on that in the comments, I suppose. Have they always done this? Did I just never know? or is this a new exercise that they've come up with? So anyway.
I did very much enjoy that 17-year-old Lashig from That Boutique-y Whisky Company.
Yeah, and we're going to come back around to Lashig in the next episode, in fact. Hey, Lashig continues to just be an absolute powerhouse of just phenomenal peated whiskey.
Speaking of impressions, age statement Indian whiskey. Finally got to try an Amrut age statement on it. It's being the Chairman's Reserve, the Greedy Angel, 8-year-old. So it was, so it's a bourbon and port and then bourbon again. That's my interpretation. No, sorry, I'm reading the wrong notes. Yes, the Chairman's Reserve. My notes say this was unreasonably spicy and woody, rich and warming. It was almost too much. You can see why, from tasting it, it's understandable why Indian whiskey is bottled so relatively young. After 8 years, this thing was explosive. It was an absolute powerhouse of a whiskey, and almost to a point where it'd be hard to enjoy because there's just so much going on.
I think I might have missed that one, but I missed that, and there was some Floki from Iceland, I think it was, which I also missed out on. They were hidden up in the limes room somewhere, and I just wasn't able to find them. Bit of a labyrinthian venue this time as well.
I tried 2 of their whiskies, the First Impression and then the Birch Finish Single Malt. The First Impression was just it's a good, nutty, spicy, syrupy single malt, very young, quite fiery. The Birch Finish, though, that was impressive. 3-year-old whiskey finished for 6 months in a birchwood barrel. It was perfumey, kind of potpourri. It's difficult to pin down what it was like because it was so unique. And it was good for being such a young whiskey matured in a fairly cold climate, but it still had a lot going on. And the addition of an extra cask just put a whole new twist on it.
Yeah, well, it'll be one to watch as they, along with a lot of other new distillers, continue to evolve. What's your siege whiskey there, Dave? Mine's Johnny Walker Black Label 12.
Well, I don't have it on me, sadly, but I did pick up at Dramfest one of the special bottlings, bottled for the event. This one is a Glenallachie, obviously one of our favourite new distilleries who are just doing new and inventive things. A single cask strength, 9-year-old Glenallachie from a Rioja Tinto barrel. So a Spanish red wine barrel, matured the whole way in this one barrel. And it'll be good when we can try it on camera together. So did you try that one there? They had a bottle open at this time.
I might have missed out on that one. That's all right. We can make that one of our new sort of online tastings. Those things much longer. Yeah, Billy Walker, man, just continuing his Nobunaga-esque sweep across the various distilling regions of Scotland. Not stopping. So,
one final Dramfest highlight. Looking through my notes, I remembered I tried possibly the greatest rye whiskey I've ever had at this event. And looking through my notes to see it was from Willet's. This was the 4-year-old family estate rye whiskey, over 55% ABV.
Oh, that one.
4 years old.
Yeah, I tried that at Mark's tasting. That really was phenomenal. Yeah. Just like super medicinal, right?
There were explosive rye flavours, almost too much in every respect. And I also noticed that it was extra AF. I am a mid-30s man who has no business saying things like extra AF. So that's a sign of just how...
Yeah, wow. If I could make a Sazerac with that whiskey, I bet it would be a real... that'd pretty blow your nuts off with flavour, that one. It was almost... it was an extreme whiskey.
Yes.
All right, well, let's... I think I'm going to take a quick episode break here and come in with the first of the couple of live reviews we're going to do. So I will extricate myself here, and we will be right back with some good old Scotch.